Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. If you're new here, I make a ton of different content about my life as a 31-year-old, work, beauty, fitness, lifestyle, traveling, all of the work. So if you're interested, definitely feel free to subscribe. But this morning, I figured it would be a great day to vlog. I have a lot of good stuff going on and I'm actually about to meet two of my childhood friends. We are gonna go have breakfast. They were up in my area. They live like an hour away from me, and these are two of my best friends since I was like 3 years old. They were bridesmaids at my wedding and they have just been with me through every stage of life, and I feel like for so many people they don't understand how you can navigate. I mean, if I was 3 and I'm 31, like a 28-year plus friendship. And I have a couple of tips that I wanted to kind of start this video out with on how our group maintains our friendship, because there's actually 5 of us: Taylor, Rachel, Alexis, Nina, Kaylee, because we call ourselves Trank. That's how it is in our group chat. That's how we've always like identified ourselves, as Trank. So there's 5 of us and we've all maintained that friendship. The latest friend in that group is Alexis, and we met her in 1st grade. Everybody else we've known since we were very young. So some of the things we do in order to make our friendship strong is, 1, we always get together around the holidays because everybody's usually in town. So at least once a year, we know we are going out to dinner, we are catching up, we are getting together. We also have a group chat that we update each other on all the time in terms of what's going on in our life, and I feel like that's really important to do. Now, you don't have to tell, you know, everybody everything every second of the day, what's new, but for the big moments in your life, the things that you're celebrating, the things that you're grieving, the things that you're going through, or any life stage that has like some sort of monumental moment that you think your friends should know about, you update each other on. Every now and then I'll check in on the group, just a random Tuesday, and I'm like, hey guys, you know, checking in, how's everybody doing, what's new? And like, it just allows for conversation, for people to feel like they can open up, they can share what's new in their lives, they can, you know, like celebrate each other or grieve with one another, like I said, depending on the situation. So I feel like in order to maintain friendships, you need to have open communication, and it doesn't have to be frequent, but it does need to be regular. And then you also need to just set plans. Now, again, if people live far, because 2 of my friends actually live out of the state, so we know the holidays is a time to get together, you just always need to have something set. And for us, this was kind of sporadic. They were in my area. My friend Kaylee had an appointment, so I was like, why don't we grab breakfast? And then we were like, hey Rachel, this is kind of last minute, do you want to come? And so here we are. So we're gonna go to a place called Kiki's. We're gonna grab some breakfast, we're gonna catch up, and let's see where this Wednesday takes us. You want to wave? Oh, there we go. 1,000. Yeah. I've said this before, but a little hack if you don't like folding laundry is to put on your favorite vlogger, dump it all out, and get going. I feel like it keeps me entertained and it doesn't really have me focusing on the fact that I'm doing a chore. You're probably not going to be able to tell, but the grays are graying. So I have work this weekend and I want to have a fun weekend, and you know, just don't really want gray hair. So we are dyeing it. I just finished up another one of my Ion. This is the Permanent Color Brilliance Permanent Cream Hair Color. So I get this at Sally's, and then for the developer, I use a 20 developer, and I'll leave this on my hair for like 30 minutes, and we're gonna come back feeling brand new. Hi there, my name is Taylor. I am 31 years old, and I'm represented by Brittany. Happy Sunday. I am going to kind of wrap this vlog up here with a little bit of a life update that I think you guys deserve to know what's been going on and why things have been just a little bit different on my end, and really just how life has changed so much in a very dramatic way over the past month and a half. So when Austin and I were in Italy, we were celebrating our honeymoon. Austin's buddy had just recently got engaged and was celebrating his birthday in Mexico in, you know, like 2 weeks later. And so Austin and I were like, okay, let's just YOLO it. Let's go to Cancun. Let's celebrate his buddy's birthday, because we didn't get to go to Austin, Texas to celebrate him and his fiance's engagement party. So we're like, all right, let's just book it. Austin and his mom actually had tickets to go see Post Malone that same weekend. Austin got it for her for Christmas. And so when we booked it, we were in Italy, the time zone was ahead of it, and we actually kind of fumbled the bag a little bit, where when we decided we were gonna go to Mexico, the day that we were coming back, Austin and his mom were gonna go to this concert. So that kind of cut the weekend a little short, because Austin's mom wanted to come down, hang with us for the weekend, but because of this, she was actually just gonna come on Sunday. Usually, Austin's mom would watch our pets. She would usually come down, especially knowing she was gonna be here on Sunday for the concert. Chances are she was usually gonna watch our pets. But for some apparent reason, I decided to ask my brother. You know, we've used a lot of favors for Austin's mom to watch our pets, so I said, let me just ask my brother. My brother has not stayed at our house to watch the pets, so I said, let me ask him. So he ended up staying at our house on Friday. We left on Friday, went to Mexico, and within 2 hours of landing, literally, 2 hours of landing, we got a call that Austin's dad unexpectedly passed away. And if you can imagine what that's like, being in a foreign country and you get the news that your dad has passed away out of the blue. I constantly have been replaying this whole thing in my head of just how everything kind of worked out the way it should have, in the craziest way how, because if it wasn't for my brother staying at the house, Austin's mom would not have been there when his dad had a heart attack and was, you know, needing to call the paramedics and get everything situated. So Austin's dad had a heart attack. He was healthy. There was no underlying health concerns. There was no indicator that this was going to happen. And so when we're in Mexico, we get the call. Obviously, I'm like, holy shit, we need to get out of Mexico. Like, what's the next available flight? Of course, at this point, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There are no flights out to get back to Miami. I was like calling my one friend who's a pilot. I'm like, how much is it to charter a plane? I'm like, we need to get out of here. And it just wasn't gonna work. Like from flying a private small plane from Miami to Mexico wasn't gonna work. It was gonna be a little too risky. So we had to wait until the next morning. So luckily we were with Austin's best friends in Mexico and just kind of had to ride that night out. But that being said, you know, life has changed dramatically in the past month and a half. Austin's mom has been staying with us for quite some time. She's been extending her trip. You know, she came down for a little bit, then went back to Orlando, which is where she lives, you know, came back down, has brought some stuff, and we're just all trying to navigate this and figure this out. And for the last couple of weeks, I have just been extremely heartbroken. Obviously for my husband, for his mom, for his sister, who now have to navigate this immense loss. But also for the life that I thought I was gonna have. And the father-in-law that I was lucky enough to have in my life for the last few years. And what I thought being a married couple was gonna look like with having a now father-in-law, because if you guys don't know, I lost my father at 16 years old. It'll actually be 15 years that I lost my dad this August. So to have to navigate now what this life looks like with a husband who is now trying to navigate grief and his family navigating grief, while also bringing up so many emotions of my own life, of what my life has been like without having my father here. And now what I thought was going to be another extended, you know, bonus dad of mine taken from me way too soon. And Austin's dad, Pete, was an amazing guy, a great father, a great father-in-law, a great grandpa, very lively, had just a spunk to him. And so he is and will be greatly missed. So we've been having to navigate this as a family, and it's been a very weird situation, but we are doing the best we can. We are making life as beautiful as it can be. We are becoming even closer than ever as a family and just really working through this. So that's what's been going on. And as you can imagine, it's been a crazy time and a big shock. So that's what we've been dealing with. And I've been actually making quite a lot of content on TikTok about grief. just what it's like to navigate it, because it is the craziest emotion and roller coaster that you will go on, and it's a lifelong thing. Like, grief is not something that just goes away. And I've had a lot of quotes that have resonated with me and that I've tried to understand now. Like, my grief has also been, you know, my dad died when I was 16, so my grief now looks a lot different than it did when I first lost him. And so to have to like learn what it's like to help someone go through a grieving period when it's fresh and new and not years, you know, over a decade long, has been unique for me. So I'll tell you what, it really changes you as a person, losing someone. And I'm not sure why life is hard like this. I'm not sure why we get people taken from us extremely soon. And it's always, you know, that quote, only the good die young. I mean, that seems to just be the case. And yeah, it's been a very sad period. So anyways, if you're going through grief, listen, I'm right here with you. I've always said this, especially when I talk about my dad. But my DMs, my messages, they're always open if you ever just need an ear. I know grief can feel very isolating. It can feel like you are alone in this, but I promise you, you're not. I promise you, you are loved. And I promise you, that person that you lost is right here all around you. You just really have to look for them, and you have to look for those signs and understand that they just have a different perspective of your life right now, but they are still really here with you. I believe that to my core. I feel my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, I feel them all around me all the time. But you have to be open to feeling them from a different perspective and feeling them in a different way. So anyways, I'm sending so much love to those of you who are experiencing this. And yeah, I just had to update you. I am actually getting ready to go to a hot Pilates class. I am at a place called Zoo Health. Let's see, right there. I've never gone to this Pilates place before. It's like an infrared Pilates class, but a girl I know is actually the teacher here, so I thought I'd go take her class. Yesterday, I was pretty hungover. We went out to like a Topgolf and also got some other bad news about Austin's uncle while we were out. So we were kind of just like having drinks and just, you know, dealing with that. And that being said, yesterday was a tough day for me, but we went shopping, we went to Sephora. Lori and I, which is Austin's mom, we just had like a little shopping day. And then I just chilled most of the day. So yesterday was rather unproductive. And that being said, today starts me getting my shit back together because I've been eating, I've been drinking, I haven't been strong on my workouts, and I'm feeling it. And I'm ready to get back into a routine. So let's get this workout going and let's see what the rest of this Sunday has to offer. Wanted to show you guys what I got from Sephora. Nothing too crazy, but I figured I'd show you the few items. First and foremost, I needed a new setting spray, so I decided to pick up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting spray. I have not tried this before. I don't think I have. Maybe a makeup artist has used this on me before, but I'm not 100% certain, so I'm gonna give this a try. I was also really curious about the Tower 28. No, the one size setting spray, but that's mattifying and I like more of like a little bit of a dew, so we'll see if that provides it. And then I have been hearing amazing things about these Merit. This is the Flush Balm. It's a cheek color and I got the color Fox, so let me show you. I just thought it was so beautiful. And I feel like it's a nice like sheer color that you can use both on your cheeks and your eyes. And let me do a swatch. I feel like that's a nice color for summer. And lastly, they were doing these little scratch offs. So I went yesterday and today. The first color I won is this Sephora cream. My camera is not focusing. It's actually really bothering me. Then the color Made in Luxembourg, and I just thought this was so pretty, especially for kind of like the fall time. And then this is the one I went back and got today. I'm actually gonna give this to my mom because she deserves to have nice things too. Wait, why is this also Made in Luxembourg? Oh, okay, that's just where the actual lipstick is made. That's weird. This is in Marvelous Mauve. And this one is in Red Desert. And since I'm keeping this, I'll do a swatch of this one for you. Okay, that's actually a lot more red than I thought it was gonna be from the outside. I thought it was gonna kind of be a brick color. So we'll see. I could probably play around with it and make it maybe a little bit more brown depending on the liner. But yeah, so fun that these were free. And actually it's funny, when I went there yesterday, I actually saw someone say no to playing a free scratch off. You could win, like they had Sephora masks, they had the Sephora like cleansing wipes, these lip stains, they had eyeliners, and then you could also win a $100 gift card or makeup bag. So super cool. I love that they did that. So yeah, that is my little Sephora haul. I honestly think I'm gonna wrap the vlog here. I'm gonna do my sheets, get myself just all like Sunday reset. That hot Pilates class was so hot. Like one of the hottest heated classes I've ever been to. I actually stepped outside for a second because I'm like, wait, I don't really like how I feel, and I'm like a little bit nervous that I could faint. So I went outside for literally like a 10-second reset, and then I came back inside, thank God, because the class was like on its last minute. I was like, I don't have any more in me. So it was a great class nonetheless. We only used like Pilates ring and a ball. So those aren't my favorite pieces of equipment, but it was something different. I don't usually use that equipment, so it was a nice switch up. And yeah, I think we are going to end it here. Everybody is extremely sleepy today. And yeah, guys, I hope you had a great Sunday, happy weekend, and I will see you in the next vlog. Mwah.